The configuration menu is the most important part of programming the ProLogic. Configuration of the system is required so it can successfully control the applications that have been installed. To view and edit the configuration menu, press the menu button until Configuration Menu Locked is shown on the display. This menu is locked to prevent tampering with the settings. It's the only locked menu on the ProLogic. To unlock the configuration menu, press and hold the left and right arrow buttons simultaneously for approximately 5 seconds. Then press the right arrow key to enter the configuration menu. The first display is for Chlorinator configuration. Press plus to view or change. This will be configured if the application utilizes salt chlorination to sanitize the water. Notice the bottom line of the display. Press plus to view or change is flashing. This indicates that changes can be made to this menu by pressing the plus key. After pressing the plus key, the display will read Chlorinator disabled. To enable it, press the plus key and the display will change to Chlorinator enabled. Press the right arrow to go to the next item in the configuration menu, Display Salt. Once again, the bottom line is flashing, indicating that this can be changed by pressing the plus key. If the plus key is pressed, the display will change to Display Minerals. Pressing the plus key again changes the display back to Display Salt. Press the right arrow to move to the next item, which is Cell Type. T-Cell 15 is the default cell type and will be displayed and flashing. The cell type, like all flashing values on the display, can be changed using either the plus or minus key. ProLogic gives you the flexibility to choose the right cell type for a particular application. T-Cell 15 is designed for pools up to 40,000 gallons. T-Cell 9 is designated for pools up to 25,000 gallons. T-Cell 5 is designated for pools up to 20,000 gallons, and T-Cell 3 is designed for pools up to 15,000 gallons. It is critical that the system is configured for the correct cell type installed in the plumbing. Failure to configure the system for the correct cell type will provide you with inaccurate readings and potentially false error codes. Next is the Chemistry Configuration Wizard. This needs to be configured if the application utilizes the Sense and Dispense option. Press the plus key to enter the Chemistry Configuration Wizard menu. The display reads Sensing System Disabled. If Sense and Dispense is installed, this must be enabled by pressing the plus or minus key. Press the right arrow key to move to the next screen in the Chemistry Wizard. The display will read first the modes of chemical control. At this point, you're guided through the rest of the Chemistry Configuration menu by pressing the right arrow key. pH Reduction Control Disabled is the next display you will see. When Sense and Dispense is used with ProLogic, you have the option to reduce the water's pH by adding either CO2 or muriatic acid to the water. By pressing the plus key to enable pH reduction control, you allow the ProLogic to turn on an output to reduce the pH, such as an acid feed pump or a solenoid valve for a CO2 tank. Pressing the plus key will change the bottom line of the display to read Auto Sensing. This function is used to allow Sense and Dispense to monitor pH levels in the water and to turn on production control as needed to adjust the pH to meet the selected parameters. Pressing the plus key will change the bottom line of the display to pH Reduction Control Forced On 15 minutes. This setting is used for troubleshooting purposes to force the reduction control output to verify proper operation of the acid feed pump or solenoid valve for a CO2 tank. Auto Sensing is the preferred setting when using Sense and Dispense. Press the right arrow key to move to the next menu, Chlorine Feed ORP Auto Sensing. This is used to configure the ProLogic to allow Sense and Dispense to monitor chlorine levels in the water and to turn on a chlorinator cell if the ORP needs to be adjusted to fit the selected parameters. Pressing the plus key changes the display's bottom line to timed %. If selected, The chlorinator will be left on for a percentage of time that the filter pump is running. In this case, automatic monitoring and adjustment of chlorine levels by sense and dispense is disabled. If timed percent is chosen, the percent of time the chlorinator will be left on in relation to the amount of time the filter pump is on can be adjusted from 5 to 100% in the settings menu. However, chlorine feed ORP auto sensing is the preferred setting to allow you to fully realize the benefits of sense and dispense. Press the right arrow key to scroll through the next two screens, where the chemistry wizard describes function of pH auto sensing. The Maintain pH Level 7.5 screen allows you to change the pH levels from 7.5, which is the default and ideal level, to anywhere between 7.0 and 8.0 by pressing the plus or minus keys. Pressing the right arrow key twice will move through the next two screens, pH too low alarm and pH too high alarm. Should the pH level in the water drop below 6.9 pH low or rise above 8.1 pH high, the ProLogic will display an error code to alert you. Both of these settings are factory set and cannot be adjusted. Pressing the right arrow key twice will move through the next two screens, where the chemistry wizard explains the function of pH control timeout. The display will read pH timeout 60 minutes. This allows you to set the maximum amount of time that the pH reduction control will attempt to lower the pH level before an alarm is triggered. Pressing the plus or minus key will change the display from 60 minutes to 120 minutes. This may be needed for larger pools. Press the right arrow key 3 times to move through the next two screens, where the chemistry wizard explains the function of ORP. The Maintain ORP Level screen is where you can adjust the ideal level of ORP for sense and dispense. Although 650 to 800 millivolts is the factory default and preferred level, you can press the plus or minus key to adjust the ORP range. The minimum value is 400 volts. The maximum value is 900 millivolts. Press the right arrow key twice to move through the next two screens, which display the ORP too low and ORP too high alarm levels. These alarms are similar to the pH alarms discussed earlier. Both types are of factory set and cannot be adjusted. Should the ORP level in the water drop below 350 millivolts, ORP low, or rise above 950 millivolts, ORP high, the ProLogic will display an error code to alert you. Pressing the right arrow key 3 times will move you through the next two screens, where the chemistry wizard explains the function of sanitizer and ORP timeout. The Sanitizer Timeout 24 Hours screen allows you to set the maximum amount of time the ORP control will attempt to increase the sanitizer's level before an alarm. Pressing the plus or minus key will change the timeout from anywhere between 1 hour and 96 hours. Pressing the right arrow key 3 times will move through the next two screens, where the chemistry wizard explains the function Chemistry Extend. The Chemistry Extend Enabled screen allows you to either enable or disable an override of any filter pump timer to satisfy ORP level requirements. For example, if the filter pump timer was set to shut down but the ideal ORP level has not been reached, the system would override the timer and allow the pump to run until the proper ORP level was reached. Pressing the right arrow key will display End of Wizard. You've now successfully configured the chemistry wizard. The next menu item is Pool Spa Configuration. Press plus to view. This menu allows you to configure the system for the installed application to operate. Pool Only, Spa Only, Pool Spa Standard, or Dual Equipment are the 4 different types of applications the Pro Logic can be configured to operate. Press the plus key to display Pool Spa Setup. The default setting is for Pool and Spa Standard, also commonly referred to as Pool Spa Combo.